Guten Tag and hello everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Märklin Outsider. This is Series 2, Episode 5, and it's been a while since I did an episode, but I really haven't had anything to talk about. So, at least now I've got a few things to share with you. Number one, some of you may know, most of you watch this probably already know, I just got back from a month in the UK. And before that, I was going through the process of retiring from my job, and plus my job was just really overloaded with work. And so I haven't made a lot of videos. So I'm going to make up for it here with a sort of a double video today, because right before I went on vacation and while I was on vacation, I bought some more Märklin locomotives that I want to share in this video today. So the first one I want to share with you is both new and not new. And by that I mean it is a Class 101 Verkehrsrot locomotive. The 101, if you're not up on German rail, is one of the standard high-speed locomotives for the inner city trains, the ICs. It is the standard. And if you follow this channel and pay attention to my locos, you know that back in December for my birthday, I got a used Class 101 locomotive because I wanted one in Verkehrsrot, traffic red. That's the standard Deutsche Bahn red coloring for locomotives. And it was used and it had problems, and I cleaned it up, I took it apart, I did what I understood how to fix it as best I could, and it does run, but it's inconsistent, it's erratic. So I talked myself into picking up another one. In fact, it was the last episode I did, was I got the Class 101 Deutsche Bahn Museum, because I just thought the livery was brilliant. The problem was it was a beautiful advertisement livery on it, but it wasn't the Verkehrsrot. It wasn't that traffic standard red. I want a standard one. So I broke down, and right before I went to the UK, I ordered from Modellbahnshop Lippe. I got, well, we'll see, and hopefully it'll show up here. It is the 39376 Class 101. And this is a new release by Märklin. Well, it was new when I bought it a few weeks ago. This is a new release. And what I really like about it is that it's my first 101 that is not 1010031 running number. This is 1010321 running numbers. It's got an actual different running number than my other three Class 101s. This is my fourth Class 101 now. I'm not that big a fan of Class 101. It's just, I bought, my first 101 was the Märklin 160th anniversary because I wanted a 101, and that was there, and it was cool looking. It was Märklin anniversary, so I did that. And then I bought the Verkehrsrot one that was used, and that came for my birthday, and I wasn't happy with that, so I made up for it by buying the Deutsche Bahn Museum one. But I still need a traffic red. I still need that standard red basic locomotive. So I will probably turn around and sell off or give away my 101 that I've had problems with. Maybe a collector out there that knows more about fixing them and really wants to tinker with it. Or it's a great training one, or I may give it to my grandson. I haven't decided yet, so I'll think about it. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and unbox this. I've already loaded it up into my computer, so I won't share that with you. And we'll take a look at it. A lot of functions. It's the MFX World of Operations decoder, the MFX Plus. So I've already run it a couple of times on my layout, so this won't be a run-in session. I'll just go through it because I didn't do a video of it when I first bought it back in early May. Okay, so let's take a quick look at it. So here you can see the list of functions for the 101. It is also a MFX Plus decoder. You can tell by the little swirly around the M here with the MFX, which means it also has the World of Operations and everything on it, your various light and sound functions. A great locomotive, already has been run in on the layout, and I've run it with trains. It's a great puller, does a great job. It's probably all the same motors and everything as the DB Museum 101. just a different running number, and obviously it's in fair care throat. So we'll let you take a quick look at that as well. All right, so here's the 101. Again, not a lot of design specialties on top of it. I don't know if the real ones have a lot on them to begin with, but very similar to the other 101s I have. In that brilliant fair care throat traffic red that I like so much. And for the heck of it, I already mentioned that this guy is a real good puller. So I went ahead and weighed him, since I, for the other part of this video, weighed the Class 143. This guy comes in at a hefty 587 grams. That's 65% heavier than that Pico Class 143. It is 80 grams heavier than even the Class 143 that I just got from Märklin. So no doubt this guy is a strong puller with that kind of weight, as long as the gears and mechanisms work up for it. So let's go ahead and run it through everything, see how he looks. So we'll go with the lights. Change the direction lights. We're all good. Cabin lights light up. While it's running through some other sounds, there's your long distance lights, your fog lights as we used to call them. That's all good. So it comes with 23 assorted sound and light functions. It's already been run in. You can go watch some of my live stream videos if you can catch it running. But we'll run them in tandem in a little bit with the Class 143. So we will let this guy get on his way, and we will come back with a little bit of running of both these guys. Okay, so that was a look at my Class 101. So now let's look at what is brand new. Now, this is not brand new from Märklin, it's brand new for me. It is a 2021, early 2022 release. Again, a few months ago, I bought a Pico Class 143 locomotive. Now, this was a lower end Pico. This was their hobby level. It was their lower level. And it was, if you go back to the episode where I did a review on it, I hate to call it a review, it was highly detailed. Very nice looking locomotive. But it's a weak puller. It does not like pulling a lot of cars. I was disappointed in that. It runs great by itself. It looks sharp. It was well done, especially for one of their lower end hobby level locomotives. I think it was 109 plus another 30 to get the decoder put in. So you don't expect a super powerful locomotive. But yes, I was a little disappointed with it. I do have one ramp on the layout, 2.5% incline, 2 to 3% incline on my ramp, and it just it does not like pulling any cars up it. It really labors. So Märklin released a few months ago a Class 143. I had a little extra money, so I went ahead and ordered it. This is the Class 143. It's running number, or not running number, it's model number 37425. We'll give you both ends here. And I'm excited about this because just in the box you can feel that it weighs a lot more than that Pico. And again, I'm not completely unhappy with the Pico. I don't think it was badly made. It's just not a very strong puller. It's lightweight. This is not lightweight. And we'll see how well this one does. So let's go ahead and do an unboxing of this, get it loaded into the Central Station 3, and we'll run it through its paces. Okay? So let's get it out and look at it. Well, just for the heck of it, I got out the Pico. Here's the Pico Class 143 locomotive and the new Märklin. And the first thing I'll say as I'm showing these to you is, remember I talked about weight. Now, I've never done this before. I know some channels like to give you this information. I never considered it, but especially since I'm not doing a review. But just in comparison, I actually got out a scale. The Pico came in at 349 grams. That Pico weighed 349 grams. The Märklin 504. That is almost 50% heavier, about 45% heavier. Right away, it's a much weightier locomotive. Now, when you look at details, if I look at the top here, for example, this is where you're really going to see the detail. You'll notice the Pico goes a little bit extra. The vent here has actually got a grill and gives you a little more sense of depth there, where on the Märklin, it is just a solid piece of molded plastic. Pico did go through and color these slats here in a metallic cover, where again, a little less colorful on the Märklin, and the Märklin was almost double the price. The other bits, you really can't complain. They're identical, probably a little bit more metal on the Märklin in the pantographs, where it's pretty much all painted metal, where with the Pico, there's a little bit more plastic in there. But also, if you go to the front end, the Pico actually does have the little regional train designation, whereas the Märklin doesn't. So again, the Pico has its coolness factor. It just, unfortunately, is a bit weightier, or not as weighty as the Märklin, and it's not a strong puller. It does not like pulling more than 2 or 3 cars, especially if it's going up the ramp. It really struggles, even pulling 4 cars on a level surface. So a little bit of a disappointment there, which is why I finally broke down, hoping this guy will prove to be a better runner. Okay, so there was a little side-by-side comparison. Again, Pico actually wins a little bit in detailing. Now again, to give Märklin its props, we have metal door rails right here, where Pico is clearly white plastic. The body is clearly metal, where there's some definite heavier metal, let's say. You can hear how thin that metal is when I tap it versus tapping on that one. So thinner metal to save weight and cost, because this is a moderate to higher end Märklin price. This was about well, I think it retails for $300. I got it for $229, and this was $109 to begin with. So you're going to see corners cut, but otherwise nothing to complain about either one. The only issue is running strength. So we're going to go ahead and load this guy into the Central Station 3 and then give him a run in, and then we'll end with a little bit of seeing him running. Okay, I am currently on my computer, the Märklin Central Station 3 web app, and I'm on the edit screen. We want to just double check. So I just want to double check. The address is address 29, which is good. I don't have to change any addresses. I tend not to change my addresses unless I have to. And so I don't have an address 29 locomotive, so this will be fine. So we'll put him on the main track, go through his functions, and start running in. Although you can see the list of functions already here, I'll pull them out on the main screen here. All right, because this is the MFX Plus decoder, that means you can do the Märklin World of Operations. You go through all that, pull it, slide it over, and voila, you've got your little World of Operations screen that goes with these. So let's get this going on the layout, and then we'll run it in. All right, so let's run this through just a few of its functions, see how it handles things. We'll check the lights, change direction, All good, looking good with the lights. One horn, short horn, fans going. Fans powering down. Train and platform announcements sounding good. So we are going to run this guy in and see how he handles things. And we'll be back in a little bit. All right, so let's see how it handles the ramp here. It's already up the incline. Look at that. No real slowdown at all. Not even noticeable. And coming around the bend into Delmenhorst Station. That's excellent. That's what I wanted out of this. My 143 from Pico could not have done that. It would have struggled pulling those 6 cars completely. So here it comes around again. That is my Märklin Class 143. And I'll start the 141 or the 101 up. And we'll call it good. So there goes the 101. It's pulling some EC coaches, which it'll often do. Heading around the bend. There's the 143 going up. Again, nothing. No signs of slagging, falling behind, slipping at all. Just nice and strong. That added weight. And now here comes that 101 up, and again, that weight, not any kind of a slowdown, just powering up that incline. So 2 weighty Märklin locomotives really showing off their stuff. I couldn't be happier. This is just solves the problem. I've got 2 locomotives I've wanted, and they handle the incline. Couldn't be happier. So a nice new Regio locomotive as well as a high-speed locomotive. Not much of a layout, but to me it's all about the trains anyhow. By the way, the relative speed of the 143 is about 72 kilometers an hour, so maybe a little fast for realism's sake, but can't complain at all. All right, so there you saw a double barrel look at both my BR101 from Märklin, which I bought back in early May, and the brand new Class 143, the BR143, which I just bought last week and opened today. I bought it last week. It came in the mail the other day, and I saved it to do this video. To say I'm pleased would be an understatement. Obviously, quality does not necessarily show right away. A year from now, 2 years from now, if I take care of them properly and they're still impressively pulling up the incline, then you really know you got something of value. But considering my 143 struggled, my Pico 143 struggled up the incline from the moment I got it and just could not handle carrying cars up the incline. Without a doubt, the Märklin's better. So apparently, even though this is the first time I've done it, weight does matter. Weight does matter. That Pico Class 143, as mentioned, weighed about 349, I think it was, grams. The Märklin Class 143 weighed 504 grams. And then that Märklin 101, 584 grams. Apparently weight with a good combination of traction tires or powered axles really makes a difference going up an incline, because as you saw in the video, that 101 was pulling 6 Roco Euro City cars. The 143 was pulling 5 ESU Nahverkehrs N-Wagons. Actually, it was 4 N-Wagons and a Roco Nahverkehr Class 482 Steuerwagen. And I had them pulling because that's what I want to see going up the hill. I want to see them pulling. Can they handle pulling? And so, yeah, very impressive with that, because the Pico 143 couldn't pull those 6 cars up that hill, even at 80 or 90 kilometers, scale kilometer per hour. It was a disappointment. But as you saw, comparatively speaking in quality, the Pico's got a lot of little bits to it that are nice that the Märklin doesn't have. The Märklin has some things about it that the Pico didn't have. Overall, they're about the same in terms of appearance, visual bits. Again, I love the fact that Pico had the little sign in it, the destination sign and the route number on it, the little RE sign, which I wish the Märklin had. But in the end, when it's going around fast, you don't really see that. What you see is how it handles your layout. And that additional weight, that 50% more, actually 45% more weight that the Märklin has over the Pico is the difference. So that is a great, or at least I hope you enjoyed that look at my 2 new locomotives from Märklin. I have a 3rd locomotive, but that will be in a show next week. I've got a special guy that came in the mail with the Class 143. This is a Brava, and I will tell you more about this in the next episode, which I will post in a few days. But so stay tuned. There are more episodes of the Märklin Outsider to come. So until I get to show you what this is, and hopefully you'll be as thrilled with it as I'm going to be, I will say, from Anthony Dodge, the Märklin Outsider, Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains.